What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so before I get into this video, I want to give a shout out to the brother Aram for showing love to the channel once again with the donation to the channel via the PayPal. He left a note and he says, I shared your top 10 small forwards of the 80s videos. All these guys on the chat group said that if Larry Bird, Dominique Bird, Dr. J played today, they would be bench players. And Bird would not be able to compete in today's league. LOL. Great series, bro. Yeah, I mean, look, man. That's not surprising that they would say that because they, number one, they have a general bias for their own generation. And number two, they listen to the propaganda that's put out there by today's media, which is pretty much designed to cater to them, to cater to their generation, to make them believe that today's product is the greatest thing since sliced bread. But when you look at the evidence suggests that they are extremely off base. Someone needs to explain to me how a guy like Nikola Jokic can be so dominant in today's game, but Larry Bird would struggle. Because everything that you would argue with Jokic has to apply with Larry Bird. If you want to say, well, Larry Bird's not a great athlete, neither is Jokic. Then you say, well, yeah, but Jokic has great passing ability. So did Larry Bird. Jokic has great rebounding ability. So did Larry Bird. I would say one of the differences between the two is that when healthy, Larry Bird was a better defender, a considerably better defender than Jokic. Jokic is a historically awful defender who gives no effort. Bird gave effort on defense. He just wasn't the quickest guy out there. And he was a great help defender. He wasn't the best one-on-one defender. He was average one-on-one. He wasn't horrible when he was healthy. He just wasn't great, but he was a great help defender. Jokic is a good outside shooter, but if you watch Jokic play, he's generally better shooting from outside when uncontested. Whereas Larry Bird was frequently contested when he was shooting. Bird had more creativity and, you know what I'm saying, Bird was more creative as far as creating his own shot. Jokic generally, because of his size, he tends to have good looks. And when you look at Jokic, especially when you shoot from outside, when he's making threes, usually he's either wide open or he's shooting over somebody who just is too small to guard him. But we've also seen Jokic get stopped by Alex Caruso. Larry Bird is the same dude that was telling people, hey, look, don't put no white guy on me. I'm good. This is Bird. Bird is saying this. He was offended when you put a white defender on him. So what are we talking about here? Now, if you were saying to me, I think Larry Bird might have some problems dominating in, say, 2001, 2002, 2003, when there weren't as many shooters and the game was more predicated on athleticism and speed as far as getting your shot off, having a quick first step, and the lanes were more clogged. Now, if you told me Bird would struggle a little bit more in that era, I still think he would figure it out. But yeah, I can kind of see that a little bit more. But today's game, which is predicated on shooting and passing, as wide open as the game is, come on, man. What are we talking about here? The one area I think Bird would have to improve on a little bit, and I mean just a little bit, is ball handling. But even with that, he wasn't a bad ball handler. He won't Charles Oakley. You know what I'm saying? So, no, that's stupid. And then the other guys that are on my list, like Adrian Dantley, Alex English, Dominique Wilkins, the only thing they would have to do, and it would have not taken that long, is work on an outside three-point shot. That's it. That's the only thing that's the difference is the era. The three-point shot was of not much significance in the 80s. And if you watch Dominique Wilkins in the 90s, he did develop a three-point shot. It wasn't what guys are doing today, but he was shooting around 33, 34% from three in the 90s, which was serviceable. Today, I think he would probably be around 36, 37% from outside. Alex English probably be around 36, 37%. Adrian Dantley, the same thing. And they would still kill with the mid-range, smash you with the mid-range. Dominique still going to play like Ant-Man. Matter of fact, he would be like a bigger Ant-Man. You know, maybe not quite as efficient from outside. Instead of 40%, maybe around 35, 36%. But he would be, on the flip side, bigger and more powerful with his dunks and more forceful. And a little bit more explosive. As hard as it is to believe. That's how explosive young Dominique Wilkins was. So if Ant-Man can dominate, why the fuck would Julius Erving and Dominique Wilkins not dominate? And Julius Erving, my God, Julius Erving was a good rebounding small forward who was an underrated defender. He didn't have that great a jump shot. That's true. He got serviceable as his career went on. He was never a great outside shooter, right? But with the way that the game is so wide open, is that really stopping a guy like Zion Williamson? The only thing that's stopping Zion Williamson is his weight and his availability. Zion don't have much of a three-point shot, and he's still putting up, when he's playing, 25, 27 points a night. He don't have the motor that Dominique and Julius Erving had. So why do you guys think they would struggle? What are you talking about? These guys kept themselves in tip-top conditions. None of the guys in my top 10 ever had any serious weight issues. Conditioning was not their problem. When you think about it, Kiki, and that's another thing, Kiki Vandeweghe, out of all the players on that team, on that top 10 list, out of the guys that are on my top 10, Kiki Vandeweghe, Marquise Johnson, Mark Aguirre, Adrian Dantley, Alex English, Bernard King, Dominique Wilkins, James Worthy, Julius Erving, Larry Bird. The one guy who I think fits today's game to a T, with the exception of working on his ball handling, is Kiki Vandeweghe. You put Kiki Vandeweghe, who was an exceptional outside shooter for his era in the 80s. Exceptional. He was an exceptional shooter. He was an exceptional free throw shooter. He could shoot from outside, from three. His mid-range was wet. He was great at cutting to the basket for scores. You put him with a great point guard, Kiki is going to average 30 motherfucking points a game. Learn basketball. And it would have been effortless. What the fuck are you guys talking about? I get so animated because I sincerely don't understand what some of you guys are talking about. Oh, this guy will be a bum today. What do you base that on? Because he wears short shorts? You Nimrod? You low IQ buffoons? What are you talking about? Because he don't have a bag. Because, he don't dribble between the legs and look fancy and shoot 40% from the floor like James Harden. No, he looks like a goofball, even though he's averaging 27 on 51% shooting. But he don't look good doing it. So that's why I don't like him. But, that's what happens in today's world, man. People, if they ain't see something, people don't have the natural curiosity that prior generations have. It's this ingrained narcissism that's in that. Well, I remember when I was younger and we would read about players of the past or whatever, athletes of the past. My natural inclination, my curiosity would be to read about them. And I would look at the evidence and come to my own conclusion as to whether I think they would fit in today's game. I would learn certain things. Okay? If I learned about Willie Mays, I would listen to firsthand accounts. I would read about him. I would look at his stats. I would look at the stats for the era in which he played in. And then I would come to my conclusions. I was doing this when I was 10, 11, 12 years old. You got grown-ass men wearing hair bonnets, you know what I'm saying? Sitting down with their legs crossed, arguing with dudes on their phone about LeBron, and they don't have the common sense to do something like that. They don't have the wherewithal to do something like that. I don't like him because I don't like this guy because I don't know him, so therefore he must not be important. He must not be that great because I've never heard of him, because I'm the smartest person in the world. And that's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with when we have to argue with bottom feeders when it comes to sports talk now. We're literally arguing with bottom feeding people. And I refuse to do that. I won't do it. But anyway, that's all I got to say about it. Tell me what you guys think.